Hello, my friends. How goes it on this fine Wednesday? DM Chris, welcome in. Good King, hello, my liege. KJ, welcome in. And Nuriochi, hello, hello. How goes it? Nuriochi, how's your game going? You're doing CNC right now. Am I remembering that right? I hope I'm remembering that right. Anytime I remember anything about anyone on the internet, I'm afraid to bring it up because I'm like, oh God, I'm misremembering. That's not the thing that happened. They're gonna think that I'm just a big jerk who doesn't remember anything that anyone tells me about anyone's personal lives, and they're never gonna talk to me again. Yes, thank God. Okay, cool. Running the starter box module. Very cool. How are you enjoying it? I've recommended the starter box module a few times in product support this week, but I have never actually played Into the Dark. Hey, KevCon, welcome in, my friend. How are you? Don't mind me. I'm frustrated. We had a very good, very productive day in the dens today, and I can't tell you anything about it because it's very exciting news, but I can't share it. So instead, I'll just talk around it and spread the agony. My agony of not being able to talk about it, and then your agony of hearing about a really cool thing and not getting to know more. Hey, Longshot, welcome in. How's your week? How has y'all's weeks been? Spoilers, but they tricked the ogre into confronting the elf ghost, and it aged him a couple of decades. He turned to alcohol. Oh, turned to alcohol. I thought you meant like was transformed into like meat or something. He turned to alcohol, abandoned his goblins, and eventually raged at the players when they returned to his demise. That sounds exactly like how... I mean, that's exactly the justice that I would expect to be doled out from a beginning party. Better than last week. Good to hear it. How does one sing All That Girl again? Listen. I don't want to hear it. To the time to run like that. And that is the reason that the napkins are cold. They're the same song. Fight me. Fight me on it. Same song. Are they by the same person? Alright, we have our first Google search of the stream. I'm looking this up. Sweet Escape. Gwen Stefani. Okay. And then who did Hollaback Girl? Was that Kelly? It wasn't Kelly Clarkson. Gwen Stefani. That means they're basically the same song. Very creative problem solving. Oh yes. If anytime, oh my God, there's no level of satisfaction that comes near a crazy plan actually like being able to be pulled off, especially if it's like one of your first adventures. Oh my God, if you're able to like pin the two bad guys against each other, oh, there's no feeling like it. I gave them a map of the region as loot, and now they are a wandering, as they should be. Just rambling. Wayfaring strangers. Traveling through this world below. There is no sickness, nor... Fuck, how does that go? How does that song go? What are the lyrics to Wayfaring Stranger? We found my kryptonite. If I have to speak a song instead of sing it, I don't know the words. Second Google search of the night. I'm really stacking them up this time. There is no sickness, no toil, no danger in that bright land to which I go. Hahaha. Figured it out. Do you have a preference, CK or player? I love to be a player, if I'm being honest. The reason is, so I've talked about this a little bit, like when I first got started, aside from my famously bad first game, which I've told the story of a couple of times, when I got into tabletop RPGs, it was during COVID. And so everyone was like starting actual plays, and so I was cast into content before I ever really played, just to enjoy it. And so I really, really like just playing because I'm thinking about it like, okay, so this is entertainment. So I really like to research. I like to research my characters. My favorite example was Florence Abernathy, the witch of God. What was she the witch of again? Oh no, I don't remember. I forget the region that she was the witch of, but she was a witch, and getting ready to play her, I looked up a bunch of like witchy like rituals from like, you know, established like, you know, witch stuff in real life so that I could like draw on that in the moment. And I love doing stuff like that. It's really fun. I'm preparing right now to play a character who was actually a writer. And so I'm thinking a little bit about like her writing style, because I kind of want to write a few like journal entries as her before going into the game so that I've got stuff to draw on, you know what I mean? But I do really like running too. I like running games a lot. I find it to be a lot more work, and being a player to be just different work. It's more focused work. One of my players paid me a huge compliment that he'd not experienced as much genuine suspense and fear for his life as when he's playing in my games. It was a huge boost to my day, week, month. Dude. First of all, congratulations. That's well deserved. But yeah, I mean, there's no feeling in the world like that. Like being told like, hey, I love your game. There's nothing comes close to that feeling. Because I feel like as a GM, even if you're not like home brewing a whole like elaborate thing, if you're like running a module, hearing that like it's something that you're giving people, you know what I mean? That was what my first ever online game was. It was a gift to my friends. That was how I thought about it. I thought about that game as a love letter to my friends. And then hearing the stuff that they enjoyed about it, or like anytime they would like compliment me on anything, it was just like, oh, it was the best. Let me tell you about my favorite new spells. I want to hear about your favorite new spells. What new spells are we talking about? COVID is when I returned to tabletop RPGs after over a decade-long hiatus. I was thinking about that today. It was kind of the perfect storm for like the resurgence of tabletop gaming a little bit, because we had all had this like, sorry, my brain is on like content right now. I've just been thinking about it a lot today. Like, we had this huge example of like Critical Role taking off and being this huge success. Dimension 20 was up and coming. There were a bunch of other like, you know, sort of, it was like those two at the top, and then a bunch of like sort of B tier ones that were sort of creeping their way up. And then COVID hit, and suddenly everyone had like all the time in the world to put on these like productions with their friends, and it was all socially distanced and fine. And it really, like, I feel like it probably saved a lot of lives over COVID. I think it helped people feel not as like isolated. But it also resulted in like, I know personally at least 20 people who kickstarted like social media and gaming influencer like careers from that time. Hell, I'm one of them. It's crazy when you think about it. COVID did a lot for us. I mean, as much of a horrific, awful, horrendous tragedy it was and still is. Sometimes you just have to listen to the players to hang them with their own fears. Yes, exactly. My fear is being yelled at. I'll let y'all know that now. If you yell at me in game, I'm jelly. Sometimes in not a very good way. I just like, it takes me out sometimes, but All things done well and in moderation. Whatever. Does Grace watch anything? What do you mean, does Grace watch anything? Savage and Player Some, welcome in, you guys. Good to see you both. Pesto the writer. Oh, did you see The Witch? No. Everyone who knows me tells me how much I would love that movie, and I can't do it. It's too scary. Hey, speaking of actual plays, Dave, Guild Superior. Hey, how's it going? Dave, I saw the art for your Age of Worms game, the character art. I can only assume Jose did it. Oh my god, I'm in love. I love it. I love it so much. It looks so good. All of you that are hanging out, if you haven't checked out Guild Superior, I assume all of you, like the Venn diagram of like Guild Superior watchers and Troller Game watchers is like a circle. If you haven't, please subscribe to their YouTube channel and hang out and watch their streams, because that is an incredible group of performers and artists and writers and just like a hive of talent. They're amazing. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. Roll20 developed quickly as well. Yeah, they really stepped up, I gotta say. I'm not the happiest with Roll20 as a platform. Really, I think it's my problem. I think it's a user error. I think I'm just not good at virtual tabletops. Like, I don't know. I find them, like, intimidating. And then I find running a game already intimidating. So setting up the game in here and then figuring out a VTT, it, like, stresses me out for some reason. But Roll20 has done as well as I think any platform could have. Having our local Discord has made a huge difference. We pulled together almost 200 people. And now DMs are running tons of games and many games all over Southeast Michigan for Free RPG Day. When is Free RPG Day? It's coming up, isn't it? I didn't miss it. Transmute sticks to snakes or insect alteration. And I think I'm one of them too. Yeah. Jeremy, the breadth of your experience in tabletop gaming is such that it shocks me to remember that you and I both got hired at the same time. That feels not right in my brain. Like, oh, Jeremy, he's been with the company for 20 years. Time without number. Hey, Ignis, welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? I call us trollings. Trollings. June 27th. You know what I'm doing now? I'm putting it in my calendar. Gone are the days where I'm like, huh, that's cool, I'll remember that. Because I don't. I don't remember that. Duh, I have plans on that day. Thanks to my calendar. So I can't enjoy Free RPG Day. But I'll be having a great time doing other stuff. It's all day. There we go. Done. It's in my calendar. I'm organized. I'm getting there. 7th level spell. Transmute sticks to broomsticks. Time to arm the peasants. Let's go. Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Insect alteration lets you make bugs big. Okay, I have a question for all of you. I was talking about this with Nick the other day. You get to... Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. You get one bug that you get to make big and have a mount. What bug do you choose, and how big do you make it? There is a right answer, and it's mine. Mine is the right answer, but I want to know what you guys think. Technically, you've worked for TLG for like half a year longer than I. I don't accept that. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's real. Time's not real. Time's just a theory. Time's a theory if you really think about it. Bombardier beetle. How big would you make it? Big enough to use. I want measurements. I want feet and inches. praying mantis Clydesdale sized. Why praying mantis? That would be badass. Clydesdale sized, we talking like width wise? Like the back of your praying mantis is the size of the back of a Clydesdale? Or your praying mantis's head is as tall as a Clydesdale's head? These are important measurements. Here's mine. I want let's call it like 6 feet. 6 feet diameter, 6 feet wide. 6 or 7 feet. 6 or 7 feet. 7 feet. Let's call it an even 7 feet wide bumblebee. Hear me out. They're nimble. They can like dart around. They're kind of darty. But you can also like spread out on its back and just hang out. You can float down the river. You can float down the road. 100% bumblebee. Bumblebee is absolutely the right answer. They'd be so cozy. They'd be so friendly. And I don't think it would sting you. I was about to say I don't think that bumblebees sting, but I actually learned that that's not true. Bumblebees do sting. Rubber duck isopod size of a corgi. That'd be so cute. No, just a big rubber duck isopod, please. Hercules beetle the size of a short bus. That'd be so badass. Maybe bumblebee to ride. Yes, KJ. Like the size of a large horse. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just big as hell. Enough to like stretch out on like a pontoon boat. Big enough to ride comfortably, so I'm assuming it'll be long to be wide enough to ride comfortably. Yes. It'd be tall. That's like a landlocked... It's like a landlocked, I just sneezed the thought out of my head. Dragon. It's like a landlocked dragon. Howdy, partner. I overstimulated. Literally me. Literally me when I sneeze the thought out of my brain. It'd be like a helicopter. Oh yeah, just like 1,000,000%. Back this is cool and so close to funding. Yes! Check out Wondrous and Dangerous Consortiums and Exandria World Lore. It's looking very, very cool. It's Agile Monk's crowdfunding campaign. If you guys have ever been in any of our streams, you know Agile Monk. Agile's cool as hell. He created a book of consortium, so it lets you build basically like groups and guilds and orders and secret societies and like that kind of stuff, and it takes you through all the world building steps of like how to build an organization like that. Well, organizations of all kinds. And then Exandria is their like fantasy setting that implements a lot of that. And it looks really cool. All the art is not AI gen, it's human made. It's beautiful. Definitely check it out. And you can get a lot of Castles and Crusades stuff with your pledge. You're losing money not doing it. My wife would second the bumblebee. Your wife has good taste. It would be immortal. Yes, the bug mount is immortal. There's too many cool ones. It'd be so cool. Just if you, like, it's so fun to imagine. You just have a bug and it's massive and you can ride it around. There's too many good answers. This question has me remembering sectars. Sectars? Sectars. What the hell? Here, I can put it on screen a little bit. Why don't you go and explain? What are we looking at? Oh, 'cause bugs. There's a bug. Bug confirmed. There is a bug. I see now. I see why. I got that reference. Man, I need to start watching media. It seems like people have a lot of conversations around media. I should start watching TV and movies. Pick up a hobby. The characters are all human bug hybrids and ride giant bugs. That's awesome. It would be so fun to be a bug hybrid, just be this big. You only need one popcorn. You only need one blueberry. I'm on one today. Did you guys know that when you look at a slime mold, it looks like it's a bunch of different cells that are all kind of like dripping off of, like, you know, like they have the drippies. Like slime molds look like drippy, and it looks like it's this massive thing of a bunch of cells, but it's actually only one cell. Did you know that about slime molds? I'm still on slime molds. I fear I will never be off slime molds. So I will... If I just open this Wednesday show with a new fact about slime molds every week, will you guys keep coming back? Because there's so many fun facts about slime molds, you guys. What are we doing? What are we doing talking about gaming and about Aihrde when we're wasting valuable slime mold minutes? You should watch television. Huh? It's this crazy box with little people in them who do all sorts. How do you free the little people? Where do they go when they're done doing all sorts? I need to save them. I need to save the little people inside the crazy box. Didn't they use slime molds to redesign the Tokyo subway system? Noriochi, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me right now. Did they use slime molds to redesign subways? Wait, this is... I need to look up how to turn off the AI thing on Google. Wait, okay. I found a source. Using a virtual slime mold to design a subway network less prone to disruption. It doesn't have a brain and survives on rotting vegetable matter, but it could offer valuable insights into city planning. It's me. They're describing me. It doesn't have a brain. And it survives on rotting vegetables. I eat fresh vegetables. Slime molds first forage broadly over an area. We know this. We're experts. We're slime mold experts. I want to know about the subways. In architecture school, we were taught by human architects the lessons of past human architecture, but the slime mold has been shaped by hundreds of millions of years of evolution, so in that sense, they are far more experienced at solving certain architectural problems than we humans ever could be. Wait, I love that philosophy. In America, we have 250 years of democratic philosophy and open communication, but slime molds are one cell in one body. They are an amoeba-like thing with billions of years of experience living communally. So we let slime molds into the White House. Oh God, they're everywhere. Is this interesting, me just reading an article about slime molds off screen? I'm gonna take your word for it that this happened. I saw a headline that looked vaguely like it was affirming the facts, and that constitutes research on the internet these days. So, hey, Jeff and Fosco! I look away at slime molds for too many minutes, and in you guys come. Welcome in. Good to see you both. How are you liking Blood and Briar so far? I'm really enjoying watching you guys play. One tale of Aihrde I'd like to hear is Blood and Briar. I've been creating. You guys have inspired me. You all specifically, Fosco, Jeff, Blaze, Wiley, like all you guys in your group. I have been creating a new optional roleplay supplement that kind of gamifies the Curse of the Dogwood a little bit more. I'll show you guys if you want to see it. It's not finished yet, but I am proud of it. I've been working on it sort of like off hours, but I'm very excited about it. You guys have inspired me a lot. I went to architecture school. Asher, I didn't know that. So naturally, my degree is in business and work in IT. Life is more like Traveler Chargin than like Traveler character generation than CNC character. Yeah, that's fair. That sounds about right. I got a degree in English and now I'm on social media, so. I don't suppose TLG is looking to hire a well-used old gamer. Define well-used. Let's spell that out first things first. What do you mean by that? Fucking awesome. Here's the thing. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. Just a second. This will only take a second. Oh my god, I've had Twitch unmuted this whole time. I'm sorry. I hope you guys haven't been hearing double. Hang on. Any of you that were with us at GaryCon are about to have like a PTSD flashback. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
Where's my ham? I put it right here. What's going on? Oh my god.
The kids aren't all right, let me tell you. They're not okay. The kids are not all right. I repeat. Fucking awesome. Kevcon, it's pretty clear. Hey, Dim, welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? It's pretty clear. You just watched Ham Prank. Where's my ham? I left it right here. What's going on? It was a mistake showing you all that because now I'm just going to be quoting it all night. No one gets their ARPAs. It's basically a stim at this point. I can't tell you. I say it every day. About everything. Where's my keys? I left it right here. What's going on? Where's my phone? I left it right here. What's going on? Where's my will to live? What's going on? If you heard us screeching that through the halls at GaryCon, I apologize. I say random Vines all the time. Oh my god, dude. Vine. Remember Vine? I miss Vine. Hey, I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we should hang out or something. That's my favorite Vine. Actually, I also really like... I think I know more about American Girl dolls than you do, genius. Road work ahead. What trolls and trollers are going to Gen Con this year? You're looking at one of them. Nick and I will be there. I think Dakota will be there. Steve will be there. Dakota's girlfriend, Courtney, will also be there. I'm very excited to meet her for the first time. I'm just excited to have more Goral in the booth. I can't be the only one. More Gwen Stefani singing. You don't want that. You don't want the smoke. You don't want the smoke. I feel like I missed things. You think slime molds are impressive? Yeah, I do. The Armillaria ostoye. The Armillaria ostoye, commonly known as the humongous fungus, is the single largest organism on Earth, covering an area of 2,385 acres. So many Google searches this Wednesday. Humongous fungus. This doesn't look that big. I want you to know what you've just started. NONR, here's what you've just started. The smoke. We're in a feud now. Slime mold versus humongous fungus. Can I create a slime mold covering an area of 2,400 acres? No, I can't. But I'm gonna find someone who can. And make a bigger slime mold than the humongous fungus. There will be a new humongous fungus in town. Although technically, here's your second slime mold fun fact for the day. A slime mold is not fungus. It's a protist. Protist? Is that right? I don't know my slime mold facts. In my own dojo. Hang on. Protist. Yes. I couldn't remember the right word. All it took was slime mold to get me interested in science again. Hey, Chuck, welcome in. You're just in time for the slime mold talk. It never stopped. Gelatinous cube for the win. There will only be one gelatinous cube. There can only be one. Hey, Manfred, welcome in. Good to see you. Godzilla will destroy them. They're just Hedorah light. What's Hedorah? I've never seen Godzilla. You can't talk movies to me. Same kingdom. I came up with an adventure where an alchemist uses mold to cast spells through. Whoa. And infest trees that make them gold in color, which the royalty love, so we can spy their meetings. That's awesome. Uses mold to cast spells through. Can you explain? What's Hedorah? Fucking smog monster. Hey, Jeremy, do you remember when you were like, hey, do you want to work on like a big monster module for CNC? And I was like, yeah, I could probably get into that. I don't know anything about big monsters, but we could do that. You were like, how familiar are you with the genre? And I was like, Wait, what? Grace, Toho is your friend. What's Toho? Who's Toho? Toho rules. What is Toho? Fake fans. All I know of slime molds is that they are my Myxomycetes, and I probably butchered that word. You could just say protists instead. Go. Find Toho. Oh my god. Okay. I'm Googling it. Toho. Toho Co. is a Japanese entertainment company that primarily engages in producing and distributing films and exhibiting stage plays. Toho Water Authority. Toho provides water services to the community. For emergencies, call our call center at 407-944-5000. Their real phone number. Toho Kingdom. Site on the Toho production company with a film directory, staff database, new kaiju monster bios, Godzilla media. Am I getting closer? I started making a list of films for you to watch prior, and after 30 entries, I realized I probably shouldn't bother. Oh, that guts me. Toho is the Japanese studio. Okay, gotcha. Toho Studios made Godzilla and Ultraman and the original Power Rangers. Oh, that's cool. He enchanted some yellow mold with a chemical spell component. Uses termites to spread mold. And when the town cuts them to make furniture, he can use the furniture as a spell conduit. That's insane. I love your brain. I love how your brain works. That's amazing. The thing about Toho Water Authority is that they have 1.9 on Google reviews. Water utility company in Kissimmee, Florida. This is what we're working with. Kissimmee, Florida. I say, all this water tastes like spit. Maybe because you're in Kissimmee, Florida. I wrote a horror film syllabus for a friend one time, a film a week, but I don't think they ever watched them. Let's talk about games. Here, I mentioned, I know, so we are going to read. We're going to read. We are going to read tonight. We are going to read the 9th chapter of Castles of Spires. But I want to show you guys my fun little Blood and Briar, like, roleplay sheet. There's no spoilers or anything on it. Because it's for players. Maybe y'all can give me your thoughts or something. I don't know. Or don't. Maybe I can just use you for your ideas. No, I would never. Alright, how do I... Ooh, yeah, okay. Alright. Here's the thing. Ah! Alright. Hang on. Hang on. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix it. Don't look at my bookmarks. They're not even weird. They're not even that weird. Don't look at my bookmarks. They're really not even that weird. I don't know why you guys are being weird about it. You see it? I guess it's close enough. So, the general idea, I'll go down here first. Let me, like, scroll sideways. This is why I hate PC computers. They don't... Alright, well, I'll just read what's on them. So basically, this is like, it's a little trifold that I'm picturing this as. I was inspired by, I was inspired by a game called, There's Something Wrong with the Chickens. And I was inspired as well by, this other game that I played in an actual play, like, last week. So the idea is that the curse of the dogwood in the Blood and Briar adventure can impose, like, these conditions on you, and these conditions, like, have penalties. So you can be angry, frightened, shamed, or hopeless, and they each have their own, like, different penalties. So angry gives you a -2 to any wisdom or intelligence checks because you're angry, you're not thinking straight. Frightened gives you a -2 to attack rolls and your AC. Shamed gives you a -2 to your charisma and constitution checks. And then hopeless gives you a -4 to all of your saving throws. And the idea is, if a character gets 4 conditions, they are lost to the curse of the dogwood. And that's it. And that character turns on their party, and you fight to the death. and that player rolls up a new character. But you can also clear these conditions through different means. So you might see here your name and your archetype. Your archetype will have different instructions for clearing conditions, but to clear angry, for instance, break something important to you or a party member, and you're not angry anymore. So it's like RP, roleplay consequences to like clear the conditions and like complicate the story. If you're frightened, to clear, run from danger and leave something valuable behind, and then you're not frightened anymore. Shamed, to clear, undermine an ally at an important moment just to hurt yourself. Because we've all, I think, like self-sabotaged. And then hopeless, to clear, attack an ally, throw them under the bus, or knowingly put them in danger. The idea kind of being like, there's no hope for any of us anyway. Like, we're all kind of boned here. So these are the conditions that the curse of the dogwood forest can impose on your character the longer that you're in the dogwood. And you have curse rolls. So your archetype will tell you when to make a curse roll. Your game master might also ask for one instead of an attribute check at any time. So if you're like, I want to look into the forest and see what I see, maybe the forest looks back. And so instead of asking for like a wisdom check or like, you know, an attribute check to like perceive, you know, any danger in the woods, maybe your GM asks you for a curse roll instead to see if you are affected by the curse by like just the act of peering into the woods. So you roll 3d6, and if you roll a 1 or a 2 or a 3, despair wins. If you roll a 4, a 5, or a 6, that's a grit result. So, sorry, I worded that poorly. What I mean is 1, 2, or 3 is like a despair result, and then 4, 5, 6 are a grit result. A success is if you roll and all 3 dice are just like a mix of those. So if you roll like a 2, a 5, and a 6, that's a success because it's a mix of despair and grit. And you act normally. You don't take a condition. If all 3 land on despair, then you take a condition. And if you're trying to do an action like peer into the woods, your action fails. But the fun one is if all 3 results land on grit, you get to choose from a list of 3. Either your action succeeds, but it has a cost or an unintended consequence, or your action fails, but you get something valuable, or your action fails, but you gain a +6 bonus that you can add to any single d20 roll in the future. So your grit wins out in the moment. So like, even though the scenario is not ideal, you're pushing through is the idea, versus falling to despair. Ooh, we're about to get into a fight with a huge wolf-like creature that was sleeping because of a magical music box. Any advice? Run away or fight a fight we don't want to have? Ooh, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys or tell you what to do. I'll say the wolf, there might be a little bit more to the wolf than meets the eye. That's all I'll say about it. Okay, so I won't read all of these, but I'll just read like a couple of them. Oops. So these are all character backstory prompts. And this thing at the top is your archetype. So we have adrift, we have abstinent, we have hounded, we have fervid, and we've got like more. For adrift, this is just like an example. So you were recently deeply harmed, badly injured, betrayed, manipulated, framed, made to look like a fool. Decide what you loved most about yourself prior to this harm. It is gone now. What has grown in its place? So that's the question that you have to answer for your character. And then here are the conditions for when you need to be making like a curse roll. So make a curse roll whenever you try to do something that the old you would have done. If you already have a condition, you clear it, regardless of the result of your curse roll. On a despair, you gain a different condition back. So, I don't know. That's like fun roleplay fodder, I think. Like you try to do something that's like an old habit. And I think that there's something about indulging in old habits that kind of just feels good. And so if you were angry when you did that, like you had the angry condition, maybe that like eases your anger, but if it goes poorly, maybe then you're frightened. Like, you know, you see the vision? There are two wolves inside a great white, they're both mean. I don't know anything about those allegations. That's crazy. Cut his head off. I read the scenario. Yeah, kill him, hyper murder him. Definitely just kill the wolf. I'll do one more. I wish that it would let me scroll to the side. Oh, here we are. Ooh. Okay, I like Fool. Start the game with a condition already applied. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. Whatever, I'll just read it. Start the game with a condition already applied. You are in over your head. What peril are you looking to escape by accepting a quest into the haunted dogwood? How sure are you that it won't follow you into the woods? So, like, the backstory idea there is, like, you're eager to accept this dangerous quest into this place where no one goes because it means that no one's going to find you. It's like something's chasing you. So that's fun. I don't know. I would have fun with that if I were a player playing Blood and Briar. And then the curse stuff for that one is make a curse roll after rolling any attribute check that resulted in a failure and describe how you raise the stakes. This is optional, by the way. On a grit or success, the failure becomes a success. On a despair, you take 2 conditions instead of 1. Oh, the other thing that I forgot to mention about these is that they all have visions of different clues that you might find in the story. There's no spoilers in these, just stuff that you might potentially come across. Jeff and Fosco, I think you guys came across a cat with different colored eyes. So in here, it's like you have seen visions of a cat with 2 different colored eyes. So it kind of primes people to be on the lookout for certain clues throughout the adventure. So that's been my like hyperfixation this week. I'm still working on finishing it, but I'm pretty proud of how it's coming along so far. And maybe if we release Blood and Briar as like its own adventure, like a standalone thing that's not in the Crusader, maybe we'll include the little RP expansion. I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be fun. Is this going in the next Crusader? I don't think it's long enough to go in the next Crusader. I don't think I could include a trifold in the Crusader, but maybe that could be kind of fun. It would be kind of a weird place to put it. It'd be hard to find, but maybe that'd be cool. I might just like put it on the internet for free. The cat is Squeak's new bestie. I love the cat. That cat was cool. Of course, having a few characters who can speak with animals is a good thing. Exactly. I always kind of hope that whichever party goes into the dogwood will have like a speak with animals specifically so that they can talk to the cat. I also really want people to talk to the farm animals that are in Roslo. They have a lot to say and I think they're just fun. I want, like, watching you guys play Blood and Briar has made me want to run it for the TLG staff. But I also, I don't know if that's like tacky, you know? I for sure wouldn't want to do it while your guys' actual play is running. But but maybe like in August or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that would be okay. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know the etiquette on that. Like, hey, let me just run the same adventure you ran. I feel like that's kind of a dick move. Did any of them read the adventure? Only Jeremy. So Jeremy cannot join. For sure, run it. Maybe I'll run it. I'll run the idea by Wiley and see what he says. Get the editor of the Crusader to make it a special episode. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be on board with that. I don't remember any of it. Well then, hey, maybe if you'd be interested. I'm also changing some stuff. I've been going into the document because again, like, I feel so lucky. I know I said this last time you guys popped up last week. Or when did we last stream? Monday? It's so humbling, like, watching a group of people run the thing that I wrote. It makes me want to, like, go back into it and, like, make the adventure better. And so that's what I've been trying to do. I've been going back in and just kind of changing some content, adding a little bit of content, thinking about how I might want to run it. So I appreciate you guys. Missing ends meet, by the way. So am I. Dude, same. Email Steve and harass him. Just kidding, he'll never read his emails. Like, tag Steve 1,000,000 times on Discord so that next time he opens it, he just has to read 1,000,000 complaints of people wanting ends meet back. I remember changing how the addresses work. Well, I mean, that's the whole central mystery of the game, unfortunately. The whole mystery of the game is in the addresses. Can always put the trifold in the back of the next magazine. People can photocopy it and make their own trifold. Yeah, it's not Siege content explicitly. It's like its own modular thing that you can kind of add to a Siege game. So I wasn't sure if we'd be up for publishing something like that, but I did want people to be able to have access to it in a world where I finish it and release it, and it feels kind of like prideful to, like, assume that would be something that people would want, but then also, like, why does anyone make anything? I don't know. I would want to use this, so really I'm making it for myself. And if it sounds like something that would improve people's enjoyment of that adventure, I want them to have access to it for free. So we'll see. It'll for sure go somewhere. Most likely Discord. Is it 5e content? No, it is not. The RP supplement is just like a little, like, D6 based system, and just art, like, role play stuff, basically. He'd cancel the game out of spite. Oh, Jeff. Gee whiz. It's an amazing adventure, lots of great writing, and awesome NPCs, and we were really getting scared and paranoid in the dogwood. 1 or 2 more sessions to go. Gee whiz. If you guys do the extra session, that'll land on my birthday. Just saying. I'm turning 30. I remember a trick door. Yes, the trick door. There's a letter next to the trick door from someone named Scalise, and that is a reference to my friend who I stole the puzzle from. Because there's a puzzle on that door, and I blatantly took that puzzle from my friend. So that's his name that's addressing the owner of the door. We opened it last session. I saw it. You guys figured out the puzzle so quick. Watching you guys play it has been awesome. It can go on the Patreon too. Oh shit. I could give it to you for free on Discord. I could put it on Patreon. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about TLG's Patreon. Turning 29 again. 29? I hear it's like ripping off a band-aid, turning 30. I'm ready to be done with my 20s. I'm done with them. Did someone say burninating? So 30 was rough. People have been telling me that like the day they turned 30, their bodies started deteriorating. I've already had like a back issue and like ankle issues and all sorts of issues, so I say bring it on. Health issues, this is me on the internet with my full digital footprint provoking you. By this time next year, I will have no health issues to speak of. And that's a threat and a dare and a promise. Tell your mom, tell your dog, tell your friends' dogs, moms, cats, friends. 30 was like pulling a big lever that broke everything. See, that's what I keep hearing. I didn't know about the Patreon. Now I have to join it. Yeah, it's really good. So that is run as well by Jeremy. And there's really good content in there. Not a bit, not a joke. There's really good shit in there. There's a great backlog of content in the Patreon, especially whenever we're doing anything exciting. I feel like you've put like some Castle Zagig stuff in there, and it's cool. A lot of Zagig these days. 30 was a breeze. Now 50. That was an eye-opener. Because he needed glasses. It was an eye-opener. I've had ankle and knee issues since I was 12. It's not age, it's experience. That's fair. That's so fair. You just experience getting hurt a lot. Who can say? Who can say why? It's a mystery. When 30 is 30 years ago, we are in trouble. Still got a little time left. Does Jeremy have a Castle Zagig update? Live updates? Live on Tales of Aihrde when we haven't talked about Aihrde? I'll be 60 in a little over 2 years, and we're gonna party till we're purple, Jeff. Are you going to GuildCon? I kind of want to go to GuildCon. Are you going to GuildCon? Just asking. You heard it here first. There are 2 dragons on level 4. Don't tell your friends. Keep it exclusive. Hey, gatekeep the news. Just tell everyone that there is news, but not what it is. One is black, the other wishes you not to know its color. I love a chameleon dragon. Are they in 10 by 10 rooms? Just a bunch of squares. What kind of dragon? Now we're asking the real questions. Is it like a praying mantis style dragon? I'd love to go to GuildCon, but I'm doing GameholeCon next month, and I'd have to fly up to, oh my god, Minnesota, and just can't afford it. So that's fair. That is fair. Do the manual thing and just drive. Your car will surely thank you. Nick and I have this ritual where anytime we go to Wisconsin or Indianapolis or wherever our travels take us for cons, we always on the way back, stop at a place called Chicago Ramen. I want to get more people on Chicago Ramen. It's in like a shitty looking strip mall outside of the city of Chicago, and it's so good. It's some of the best ramen I've ever had in my life. It's like a hole in the wall. Oh, it's so good. I want to get more people stopping there on the way to and back from cons. It's the best road trip stop ever. It's not even hard to get to. A group of autumn dragons from the Monsters of Aihrde called a rake. Wow, you proud of that one? The dragon of indeterminate color is trapped in a great green bottle and wishes very much to be loosed. Do this for her, and her hoard, which still lies about her feet, is yours. Totally. Yeah, totally it is. For sure, she's telling the truth. Absolutely, 100%. Super honorable dragons. No, for real. Yeah, for real. Totally. Super, super for real. Dragons always, historically, keep their word. And fantasy stuff in bottles, fantasy beings that are trapped in bottles, super trustworthy. Actually, for real, here's the thing. We're gonna play it, and I'm gonna find that dragon, and I'm gonna let it loose because it's the right thing to do. And she's gonna eat me, and it's gonna happen. The gag is not as you assume. Oh shit. Nothing is as it immediately seems. It has to do with the color of the dragon, doesn't it? Therein lies the secret. Wait. Shit. Jeff said something about cars and I missed it. If I had a car, I e-bike to work the past 4 years, haven't owned a car in 15 years. Honestly, that's the life. That sounds nice. If I could just bike everywhere, I'd be about it. We drive to Wisconsin twice a year, GaryCon and Gamehole. 2 19-hour drives just to get there in 1 year is enough. That's fair. That's so fair. 19-hour just to get there? One way? One way 19 hours? La Figueroa. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Is the dragon not a dragon? These are the important questions. The dragon is real, the treasure is real. And the gag is in both, and the fool is me. Because I will free the dragon and wind up dead. The bottle is enchanted, and any force dealt to it is returned with tenfold ferocity. A single lever is in the room, which does nothing. There is also a silver dish, 5 feet in diameter, set upon the floor before the bottle. Just for... in the oh my god, the Christmas advent calendar, I did like a little 1-page dungeon. I love pointless stuff. There is a room with like a divot in the center of the room that's big enough for one person to kind of like lay down in it. And when the party walks into the room, the ceiling starts to close. There's no way out of the room. There's no way to stop the ceiling from collapsing. And one person will fit into the divot in the ground and not be crushed. And the gag is that it gets down to really like the wire where it's gonna start to squish people, and then it just like stops and goes back up. And so any amount of like scrambling to decide who should survive this room, any fighting that happened, now you get to all be alive and deal with it. Well. If it isn't Russell. The fucking skunk? You skunk? How are you, my friend? You fucking skunk. That's from a thing. I've forgotten what the thing is from, but you and I just started saying that to each other years ago, and now I don't remember what it's from. When did you fucking skunk start, and why did it start? I've forgotten. We used to fly to GaryCon, but my friend now brings his artwork and stuff in case people want to buy anything. So now we drive. It's so much better to just drive. I will take a 19-hour drive over a 6-hour commute by plane that has a single connection. Just to have all of the factors pretty much within my control. I'm the one driving. I'm hauling all of my own crap. It's with me. Everything is like set. I have access to all my shit. I'm not gonna like miss a plane. I don't need to go through security. I love a long drive. I think it's from ITYSL. What's it? Don't tell me. Incredible, terrific, young. I can't say the inappropriate thing. I think you should leave. Thank you. Thank you for rescuing me from that. Thank you for saving me. You can stop for snacks. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That is scum flaking. Is that really my digital footprint? Whatever. That's so funny. It was the layovers and connections that killed flying for us. One year we had a delay in DC that was longer than the total flight home. Yeah, I had one night like that in Chicago and I said never again. Now I won't connect through Chicago. I will fly anywhere but connect through Chicago. Yeah, not doing it. It's been an hour. We've not read anything. I'm gonna take a poll. What are we gonna do here? Hang on. Okay, cast your votes now. I've driven in almost every state except Hawaii and Alaska. Driven in or driven to? One of those is going to be significantly harder to complete the set. I had a flight home from a conference, but some colleagues were driving and I just ditched the plane trip and hitched a ride. That's awesome. That's such a better... Do we have to answer sincerely? Yes. Yes, you do. Be so for real. Oh, damn. 4 votes for Castle of Spires. 1 for yapping. Honestly, that's wise, because if you keep me talking anymore, we're just going to go back to slime molds. And I think I'm the only one who wants that. Hey, Olin! I want to send you a copy of my novel. Holy shit. Do it. Email it to me, grace@trollord.com. Hello, Olin. It's great to see you. You guys, this is Olin, one of my oldest mutuals from the TikTok days. How's it going, my friend? Not voting because I have to bounce in a minute. Wow. Wow. That's all this is, huh? Wow. Unbelievable. Just have to go on and leave the second I ask for a little bit of participation from you. I'm kidding. No, please, Noriochi, I'm sorry. I have something you can look at if you want. I do. I want. Answer is always yes. Yes, please. 100%. 100%, 1,000,000% yes. And I would like for you to publish your writing for TLG so that I can read it live on these streams. Read Castle of Spires wins out by 1 vote. Okay, we will read 1 chapter of Castle of Spires and then we'll see what time it is and maybe yap some more. I put an inflatable mattress over the back seat and filled the floor part with coolers. I accidentally ghost wrote part of a hook for a rapper and he paid me like $20,000. What the fuck is this story? And I used that to drive all over the country and I went out of my way to hit every state. Wait, you accidentally ghost wrote part of a hook for a rapper and he paid you $20,000 for it? Hello? I want to meet this rapper. I've got some stuff you can use. Hang on, I'm going to move myself back. I kind of got off center there earlier. Okay. Just surviving in this goof world. Just a goof in a goof world. It's a goof world, we're just living in it. Okay. We're going to read a chapter. And then we're going to keep on hanging out. So we've been reading through the Castle of Spires. Hi, if it's your first time here, normally there's a lot more reading and a lot less yapping. That's a lie. There's about a regular amount of yapping, proportional to the yapping that has been in the stream. But we read from the Codex of Aihrde, we read from fiction that is published by Trollord Games, and we learn about the world of Aihrde, which is the flagship fantasy world that TLG publishes. So we've been reading through the Castle of Spires, which is a novella published by Stephen Chenault, written by Stephen Chenault, published by Trollord Games, and it follows the story of this elven prince named Meltaug, as he goes on to try to summon elves back to the world of Aihrde. Meltaug is an elf. All of the elves left Aihrde when the catastrophe called the Winter Dark began. The Winter Dark is a period that would be 1,000 years before it was ended, before people won out over Unklar, the Horned God, who brought this cataclysm about. And elves saw this coming, and they fled. They fled Aihrde to basically the equivalent of like the Feywild. It's called Shindole. And Meltaug remained in Aihrde to fight the Winter Dark and Unklar, but he is suffering from a curse that is causing him to lose his mind. And so what he's actually focused on right now is revenge. He wants to force his people back to this world and make them deal with this problem, which I really sympathize with. So yeah, we're following Meltaug right now. I won't get into too much more backstory because most of you, I think, have read this far with us. But Meltaug is sending out his men ahead, and he is staying at the feet of the Aneng tree, which is a tree possessed of an ancient wisdom because, spoiler alert, it used to be a troll. In fact, the first troll. Get yourself a cozy beverage, hang out. We're going to do some reading, and then we'll hang out a little bit more, and then we'll get out of here. If you would like to follow along, we're reading through the Castle of Spires. We're beginning chapter 9 on page 44. No more fuckery. I'm focused. I'm not distracted. I'm so focused. I'm the most focused on this that anyone has ever been. Okay. The 9th narrative. And these chapters are kind of preceded by a blurb of like what the chapter is going to be about, so I'm going to read that. The elven warlord, Meltaug et Ode, Prince of Lothian, seeks the Castle of Spires. The Castle of Spires is the site where he believes he will be able to summon the elves back to Aihrde, so that's why he's looking for it. He has found knowledge at the feet of an ancient troll, old and rooted to the ground by his life's evil deeds. It's now a tree. Okay. Meltaug watched as his men mounted their steeds. They were a grim-looking lot, battered and torn from years of wearisome war. But they were unflinching in their loyalty. At least, the Vale Knights, those elves and few men who had traveled with him for the past centuries. That's what he calls them, the Vale Knights. That's his company. The mercenaries were a typical lot, rough and dangerous, well-armed, carrying the many signs of many campaigns. The Winter Dark was a cruel land, and those who obeyed its laws suffered its yoke. Those who refused to suffer but chose to fight were few, but fearless. Meltaug's band was such. He had bid them leave him and move on so that he could investigate the Aneng tree, the troll. They rode their heavy armored steeds down the trail and through the scrub oak that lined it. The rangers, he could see, moved out and ahead of the troop, protecting their flanks from attack. There were just over 100 of them, and they had a long journey from the feet of Alfstrog to the far side of the cradle to the Twilight Wood. When we reference the cradle, what that means is the lands of Ursel, which is the cradle of the world. There's a lot more to Aihrde than just the cradle of the world, but most playable content is set in the cradle. And the Castle of Spires is in the Twilight Wood. As his men vanished into the wood line, he turned, unbuckling his sword. He crouched again next to the old gnarled tree. It was stunted and worn, mostly dead if alive at all. Its bark belied its age, and the prince knew that it was thousands of years old. Taking his flask, he filled it again with the waters that flowed from the Aneng tree's roots, and drank a long draught. It was cool and relaxed him so that he leaned against the tree and rested. His steed came over and nosed about him, but he did not move. His mind was, even then, wandering back down the roads of the past, where he could see the beginning of things, and the first trolls as they were then. Huge. The creature towered over the small bearded men with their axes and maces. He swept them aside as would a storm, battering them to the left and right in his rage at their interloping. Aneng had almost wholly abandoned his roots and his form, shaping himself in mimicry of the Allfather. He stood now on two thick, if stubby, legs. His branches were arms, long and powerful. His torso was thick, his hands huge, and his head shaped more like a ram than anything else. He had at last learned to use the language of creation and made himself eyes and ears and mouth from which he could bellow. In many respects, he looked as did the Allfather, but his form was hard, and his skin thick like bark and forever shedding in long and thin strips. When first he encountered the dwarves, it was in the high plateaus of the Shadow Mountains, upon the slopes of Mount Iseldrim. Aneng, fleeing all those of his kind, had settled upon a small pool of mountain water, and there rested his feet, and soaked in the deep, clear waters. He looked, in many respects, like an old, gnarled tree. The dwarves found him thus, and settled about him to make their camp. They were young in those days, and the world was new to them. The goblins were not made, or at least had not come out from beneath the earth. But there were other dangers in the world, and the dwarves had long since girded themselves in armor and carried weapons of bitter iron. This party of dwarves was exploring, coming from the distant west in search of new homes, new mountains in which they could build and mine and carry on the myriad tasks that dwarves so love to do. The winds were cold, and they decided to make a fire from the tree that rested by the pool. The first bite of the axe was a new sensation for Aneng, and by a lucky chance it bit into his otherwise impenetrable bark and scarred his leg deeply. He howled in rage at this new agony inflicted upon him, and he swept the dwarf aside with a long backward sweep of his arm. The dwarf was hurled through the air and crashed into the rocky wall, dead as the iron he wielded. Mayhem followed, as axes were drawn and the dwarves fell upon the great beast. But Aneng, was beside himself, his solitude shattered in pain and noise. The dwarves shot him and hacked at him, but their weaponry proved weak and broke against his hide, or if it did stick, it did not stay. Ineng brushed them aside, stomping on some and crushing others with his huge hands, but they were too many. And he fled up the mountainside, seeking to be rid of them. A score of them he left battered and dead upon the ground. The dwarves were amazed, and gathered their dead and laid them to stone, as is their fashion. But they gave the creature a name, and they called him a troll. For his part, Ineng climbed into the high cliffs above, settling at last on an outcrop of rock overlooking the pool. He crouched there and watched as the dwarves busied themselves with the burial of their fallen. He marveled at them, for they looked like the Allfather, but nowhere in his language, or that the Allfather had taught him, were words for these creatures. They were small and fragile, but able to shape wood, stone, and iron. This, in truth, captivated Ineng, for though the Allfather had taught the sentients the language of creation, he had not given them the lust for creation. The sentients are what this race of trees was called. Ineng was the first troll, but before he was a troll, he was a tree, and that race of sentient trees called themselves the sentients. The dwarves he had treated differently, for he both taught the language to them and filled them with a great lust of making. Ineng watched, and he wondered at these creatures and their strange harnesses and tools. When they moved on, he determined to follow them. He watched as they gathered their gear and set out, crisscrossing the ridges, vanishing into valleys, only to come up again many miles distant. The sentients, and especially the trolls, possessed extraordinary senses, and they could see and hear great distances. When the dwarves stopped, Ineng set off with great measured strides, moving in a straight line across the country until he came near their encampments, where he could listen, watch, and learn. Hey, Phantom, welcome in. Good to see you. Eventually, they wandered down the western slopes of the mountains and joined a larger company of dwarves upon the foothills. These were busy building a walled town. Ineng settled in the mountains high above and watched and listened for a great while. The seasons came and went. The dwarves were ever busy, building and fashioning, and the troll learned many things. A great lust rose in him then, to know how and what they were doing. How did they create so many varied things, he wondered. But he could not see into their buildings, nor reason what they did all the time. And at last, he rose, and in massive leaps and bounds, critical fail DM raids in with a party of 9 with massive leaps and bounds, just like Ineng from the first troll coming down the Blacktooth Ridge down to Aihrde. Hello guys, welcome in. So good to see you all. Holy shit. How was your stream? Tell me all about it. So good to see you all. I hope that you had a lovely, lovely time. You guys missed the hour of absolute fuckery that preceded this 24 minutes of actual reading fiction. Was the first troll Davis or Steve? Oh, Manfred, that's a good question. Technically Davis, because he was born first. But hello, you guys. Thank you so much for the raid. Hey, everyone that's here, all of you guys, troll folks, you guys should definitely follow Critical Fail. I'm fangirling a little bit. I fangirled last time you guys raided in, and I'm fangirling again this time. I'm a big fan. I love everything that you guys do, and I think it's really cool, and I think you guys are really cool. So, have that information. I'm just gonna do this. It's chill. Everything's so chill. It's actually the most chill anything's ever been. I'll have to get here earlier next time, or we'll just prolong the bullshit. What is gaming but prolonging bullshit? I can't thank you guys enough for the raid. That you guys made my night. Thank you so much. There was fuckery about it. I missed it. Well, here's the thing. We're going to be reading through chapter 9 of the Castle of Spires. I think we're about halfway through the chapter. And then if we still have any time left over, we're going to go right back onto fuckery. So maybe I'll have some new facts about slime molds to share. Hey, did you guys know that even though a slime mold looks like it's a really big organism with a lot of different cells, it's actually just one cell? It's one really big single-celled organism. Isn't that cool? And instead of a fungus, it's actually a protist. Are we friends yet? Just a bunch of chill kids. Just chill kids. Just chilling. Hanging out. Also, Quill Drama, I didn't see you come in. Welcome in. It's so good to see you, my friend. But anyway, what we've been doing, just hanging out, every Wednesday I read a little bit of live fiction that's set in our fantasy world, Aihrde. And so right now we're reading through the Castle of Spires, and we're learning how the very first troll of Aihrde learned how to make things. And I have a sneaking suspicion that he's about to kidnap a dwarf, so we're about to read about that. But tell me about your stream. How did it go? What were you guys doing? Thank you all for hanging out. I understand if you've got to like do some post-stream care, but you guys made my night just by raiding in, so thanks for joining. I crave the lore. Yes, you get it. What about a mini dungeon, meaning you get shrunk and rung through a tree ent that is infested with termites? Tell Jeremy to put that in Castle Tactic. We started a new game tonight, Dead Space Remake. I have never played before. It's spooky fun. Dude, I wish I had the stomach for spooky games. Here's what you know what I do? You know what I do to get my cheap thrills, to get my sick kicks? I look up the synopsis of the game or movie on Wikipedia if I want to consume horror content. I just look up the synopsis. Or watch hot takes on like TikTok and finding people talk about it. Just coming off Resident Evil Requiem. Oh my god. That one is like an extra layer of fucked up to me because one of the protagonists, correct me if I'm wrong, is named Grace. That is my name. So you get a scary monster calling out the name Grace, and you've got one Grace with peed pants. I'll show you that. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about peeing my pants in front of the cool streamers, and I'm going to get back to reading fiction. Again, thank you so much for the raid. It's always great to see you guys. Anyway, Castle of Spires. At last he rose, in massive leaps and bounds, leapt down the mountainside, and entered the town. The great troll's approach caused havoc in the dwarven town, and they attacked him even as he approached the gates, but he ignored their bolts and missiles. Oh my god, another cool cat. Justin, welcome in. So good to see you, my friend. You guys should also follow Justin Estrada. And hey, check out our Call of Cthulhu game on Guild Superior. Anyway, I'm gonna for real get back to reading, and then I'm gonna read this chapter on God. On my unpeed pants, I'm going to get through this chapter, I swear. They shut the gates before him, and he battered them down, and a great section of the wall besides. By then, the dwarves had marshaled in the streets, and sought to bar his way with axe and shield. Thoughtless of the destruction, he tossed them aside and crushed them, but they fought, ferocious and unyielding, for these dwarves were kin to Argrind Darkeye, king of Gorthurog, who had stood against the god Orndul, the Red Duke. The battle raged all day and into the night, and the dwarves fought from house to house. But the great troll was too powerful, and their blades were not made of stout enough iron to wound him deeply. Soon, all was in ruin. The towers and buttressed walls pulled down, houses broken open, the town's well buried in rubble. Fires rose from the ruins, and the dead were everywhere scattered. Some dozens escaped, fleeing the great troll, and returned to the west to seek their kin and spread word of the dread monster they had encountered. One at least survived in the ruins, and Aneng found him, pinned beneath the rubble. "What purpose, ghastly troll? Why have you killed us all?" Aneng looked at him for a great while. "I would know your crafts, how you shape things. You should teach me." "Burn and die, dog." "I have spared you, little Allfather." Aneng took hold of the dwarf. "What is that to me? You have slain all my people and left my home in ruins. You can burn for all I care. My name is Upak, and I serve none but my king. Now go from me and let me die." "I cannot burn, little Allfather, but you will teach me." Casting aside the timber that pinned the dwarf as if it were a pile of twigs, he lifted Upak up. He brought him into the high country, moving north along the craggy mountains, passing the high peaks of Iseldrim and through what later became Dante's Pass, until at last giant Mount Gardrim loomed overhead. And he came to the tops of the world. He brought the dwarf to a cave he had dwelt in long ago. It was deep and dark and spread under the mountain like a spider's web. At the center of these many tubular caverns lay a huge vaulted chamber with a large lake in its center. The lake was fed by many hot springs that made the water steam and bubble in tumultuous agonies. Here he set the dwarf down and cast spells upon him so that Upak became disoriented and confused, thinking now that he was at home in his smithy. You know what's fucked up, Jeremy? As I was reading that, I was like, internally, just to myself. I love Stephen Chenault's writing. I was hired on 3 years ago to read Stephen Chenault's writing live on stream. I really enjoy his writing. My God. There are too many, like, and his lust spread, and then he came. Anyway, moving on. The dwarf came to believe that the troll was his apprentice. In this way, Ineng fooled the dwarf into teaching him many things he would not otherwise have known. For many years, the two worked together. They harnessed the fires of the earth and began shaping all manner of things. Eventually, they built a huge forge, lined the halls with cobbles, and blocked the passages with doors. In time, they built gates at the cave's entrance to guard it from the dragons and other monsters that were forever wandering in the mountains in those days. But Ineng learned more from Upak than just how to build things. He learned how to forge weapons, armor, and clothes for himself. In time, his smithcraft surpassed that of the dwarf, and Ineng realized there was nothing else he could learn from him. Upon a cold winter's day, he carried the dwarf to the gates of his home and cast him out. He lifted the fog of spells that had held him for so long and turned to shut the doors on him. Upak was dazed, but realization came to him fast. His race was young in those days and resilient beyond the measure of later days. How now, great troll? My beard has grown gray, and my hands are covered in soot and scars that only an old forge master might possess. What devilry have you delivered? Inang turned, dressed in heavy cloaks, adorned with a dragon bone helm, an iron breastplate worked over with many glyphs, with a long sword in a dragon hide scabbard at his side. Be off, little Allfather. I have no use for you. Go back to your people and know that you have done me a great service. Upak looked at the great troll and marveled, for before, the creature had been naked, and now he looked mighty in his armaments and cloaks. Dog, curses on you and all your kin. May time wither you and turn your bark to stone. Be off, little Allfather, before I kill you. Upak fled down the slopes of the mountain and into the west. Inang had knowledge of him after that. Rumor came to him in after days that the dwarf returned to his people with much lamentation. But Inang returned to his forges and dungeons, and there set to fashioning all manner of things great and small. One of his greatest creations was a horn, fashioned from the bones of a dragon and banded in gold. I guess this guy was just out killing dragons. He shaped and molded it with spells and the language of creation. Into it, he poured some great part of his longing for the lakes of the east where he had spent his youth. He took this horn to the high slopes of the mountain and set it upon a great stand. There, he blew a long and mournful note upon it, and the sound of it carried across the valleys and mountains and echoed over the sea and across the rolling plains even to the furthest reaches of the world. Others heard it. Sentience of a like mind to Inang and the sound of the horn called to them, and they rose up from wherever they were to follow the trail of it. In time, much to Inang's amazement, they gathered upon the slopes of Gardrim Mountain, called by the horn and its master. And that is chapter 9. And we've done it, just like that. All it took was doing it. Ain't that something? Get out of here, little bro. He said, damn, Unk. Am I using Unk right? I need someone younger than me to weigh in. Oh my god! First Olin and now Soup? Soup, how's it going? It's so good to see you. How have you been? How's everything? How's life? Tell me it all. Are you still streaming? Man, this is the day of like old friends. I'm so happy. Little bro thinks he's him. He forgot that he's him. God, I gotta look up. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Dracula flow lyrics. I watched this the other day. Can I say this on the internet? You all have seen Dracula flow, am I right? Reach for my neck, you'll get turned into an example. I threw diamonds at the strip clubs under the Great Pyramids. I pushed the camel through the eye of a needle. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. Motherfucker looked like a Resident Evil 5 campaign extra after we was done with him. Ops wanted some initiative, blew up their entire quadrant. I'm moving like Oppenheimer. She dropped that ass on me from an egregious angle. They thought I was Stephen Wallace. I was flipping bricks for Mansa Musa before y'all even became a type 1 civilization. I can't sit here and read Dracula Flow. I can't do it. I can't do it. Did Steven write this too? Oh my god. The best prank to play on Steve Chenault. Be like, on Tuesdays, during the Tuesday AMA, show up and be like, question, hey Steve, what did you mean when you wrote this? And then just copy paste like excerpts from Dracula Flow. I'd die. I'd literally die. I've been good. I was wondering where you went, and then I found out that you were here, and so I said I'll arrive myself at another stream. Are you still going by Crane? I am! I am indeed. I'm so glad that you decided to stop by. I am still streaming, thanks for asking. I'm planning to cosplay my Dragonborn Bard with stage fright. I love it. Her name is Woe. That's such a good name. I love that name. I just created a green witch named Pesto. So I feel like Pesto and Woe would get along. Just something about the vibe. Just read Dracula Flow on Tales from Aihrde and see how many weeks it... Just read Dracula Flow on Tales from Aihrde and see how many weeks it takes for news to get back to him. You'd have to send it by carrier pigeon. He doesn't check his email. If I read Dracula Flow in its entirety on the internet, I don't think I would be able to be on the internet anymore. I think I'd be canceled. I don't think I can say some of that stuff. Fun fact, her real name is Grace, but she changed it due to backstory lore. Hey, I know that name. That's my name. It's a fun name to have. We love a changed name in backstory. We love a backstory that requires like a secret identity. Oh, I'm gonna be a little bit shameless and plug this just because like so many awesome people are hanging out. So I want to share with you guys the awesome thing that I was in. Remember earlier how I was saying subscribe to Guild Superior on YouTube? We did an actual play of Call of Cthulhu, and I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of that actual play. I played as a Greek immigrant named Doris Poulaki, and God, where do I even start? The whole cast was so talented. Justin, who was in here a second ago, that's where I met Justin, was in that actual play. Cigar seller / exactly, yeah, Doris Poulaki sold cigars. And it's just a really, really, really great actual play. I don't just say that because I'm in it. I say it because the talent of the Castle Keeper, Ty, my co-host on a brand new podcast, Aired Out, which, hello, we're going to be actually recording episode 3 tomorrow. Pretty exciting. So first Friday of July, you guys will be able to listen to what we talk about tomorrow. But Ty is so talented as a Castle Keeper and Game Master. God, Castle Keeper. Chronicle Keeper, not Castle Keeper. And Maui and Justin and Dave are the 3 other cast members, and they just like stunned me. They made me cry. They made me laugh. They made me cry laugh. Just, if you only ever check out one thing that I've done, check out this thing, because I'm very proud of it. They're uploading episodes of it onto the YouTube. And the finale is not up yet, so there's plenty of time to check it out. That was a seriously great game you all played. Thank you, man. I'm really, really, really proud of it. I loved the character that I played. I loved everyone else's character. Poor Gerard. Oh, Gerard, my God. I just loved everybody. Love me some Call of Cthulhu. I had a really cool game set up based on true historical events that was going to go all sorts of sideways. Well, what happened? Bring it back. Bring it in. Tag it in. They all hit their stride in that game. The roleplay was top notch. That was a group of people where you just... like, I met them. So I knew Ty and I knew Dave, and then I met Justin and Maui. And sometimes you just meet people and you're like, oh, you. And it's like, yeah. I feel like we were just kind of like instantly cool. And I find myself to be pretty shy. I have a little bit of a hard time, like, relaxing around new people. And so, yeah, meeting those two, and then being able to, like, play more and get to know Dave and Ty better through that game, it meant the world to me. I don't think that's overstating it to say it meant the world to me. It really meant a lot to me. And their friendship throughout the course of that actual play was really impactful, and we have continued to, like, hang out, and I'm so happy with it. So check out The Strange Case of Kozlov's Mummy, because I love it, and I've been watching it as they've been uploading episodes to YouTube. They've edited it together really nicely. It's, like, produced, so it's not just like you're watching a recap of a stream, though there's nothing wrong with that. They've done a really good job of, like, cutting the footage together to make it, like, nice. Did you get a chance to watch my interview with Ty? Fuck. No. Rob, I'm so sorry. Hang on, I'm writing it down so I will not forget. Watch Phantom NJ interview with Ty. Thank you for the reminder. Proud to call them friends, known them for almost 4 years or more. Man, they're such good people, and you're such good people. Set in the year 1858, a letter arrives to Fort Yuma at the southwestern extreme of what will eventually become Arizona. The letter is from Lieutenant Joseph C. Ives of the Army Corps of Topographical Engineers and leader of the Colorado Exploring Expedition. The purpose of the CEE was to chart the Colorado River from its mouth northward in an effort to identify if it was sufficiently navigable for military and commercial use. Sounds straightforward. The mighty Colorado ran north into the Great Unknown, a vast unexplored region of the continental Southwest within the New Mexico Territory. Wow, the Great Unknown, you say? A region of vast unexplored wilderness, you say? Rob, is it your birthday? If it's your birthday, we all gotta sing. In his letter, Ives describes a region of red clay far to the north of the fort, where the earth opens up into impossible chasms and canyons. The sheer scope of the feature was staggering, and evidence of cliff dwellings were noted. 6 months later, and no further communication came down from the Colorado. I'm in. I'm so in. Yes, it is. Okay. All right, everyone, get ready. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too. Hey. Happy birthday, buddy. I hope that you had a good time celebrating. Did you do anything fun for your birthday today? How old are you? Even though it's impolite to ask. I'm going to guess 26? 54. Nice. Very cool. Well, happy birthday, my friend. I hope you had a lovely, lovely day. Oh my God, I still have an email from you. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I will get to that tomorrow. I promise. I'm so sorry. I'll get to that email tomorrow. I was so proud of myself. I'm like, man, I've really been on top of product support. Things have not really been sitting in product support for very long. I forgot about my personal inbox. I'm so sorry. I will get back to that. You wanted to schedule an interview or something, if I remember correctly. That would be very cool and great for Summer of Siege. The U.S. government, not wanting to lose access to their invaluable survey data, fears the worst. In an effort to secure their significant investment, they intend to send a team up the Colorado to find them. The players make up the members of that team. I'm in. Where do I sign? Show me the dotted line. What do you want? Do you want my soul, my firstborn? exploring wilderness in New Mexico and finding probably horrific monsters and getting my heart hurt, I'm in. Takes place in and around the Grand Canyon based on the real life shit show that was the survey expedition. That's so cool. That's extremely cool. I would be very interested to play, or at the very least read, about an adventure based on like a real expedition like that. Oh, Savage, it auto deleted the link that you posted. I'm sorry. But speaking of, actually, there's nothing in that segue. Speaking of nothing, let's toss a raid. Let's see who's live still. God, I keep seeing one logo and thinking that it's Guild Superior and being like, oh my god, Guild Superior's live. That's not them. It's just a very similar logo. Oh, it's the clip of you singing. Great. I'm glad that that's immortalized on the internet. Thank you very much, Savage. But with the addition of one or more Wild West flavored cults of the great old ones, those who know certainly know. That's very cool. That sounds awesome. How about we raid into Mandy? That'd be good to see what she's up to. Oh, looks like they're playing something. Okay, we're gonna raid into Mandy. You guys saw how much it made my night and my week and my month and my year when the kind folks from Critical Fail raided in. So if you have a second to spare, it would be awesome if we could carry that energy forward and make Mandy's night, and show up and say something nice about their stream and let them know they're appreciated. So if you have a second to spare, hang out for a second in Mandy's chat and watch what they're doing. And hey, maybe you'll really like what you see, because Mandy's pretty cool and has been at this for a while. So hang out. I'll be hanging out in chat. We will be back pretty soon. When do we stream? Oh my god. What do we do here? We'll be back on Friday with Chuck's stream, and then on Monday hopefully for another Ends Meet, and then on Tuesday for Steve's AMA as always, and then back again on Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, talking about slime molds. So thank you all for hanging out. It was lovely to see you all. This was a blast. Always is. I appreciate you all spending your time here. You could be anywhere on a Wednesday night, so I appreciate you spending a couple hours with me. Go in peace. Make the words. Do good. And I will see you on Monday or Wednesday. One of those two. Okay. Goodbye.